A lot of people think the next big crypto narrative is institutional adoption. And yes, ETFs are launching, big banks are offering crypto custody, and we're seeing headlines that make it feel like the industry is finally being welcomed into the mainstream. But here's the thing, none of that is what crypto was created for. The real narrative of the next cycle isn't going to be ETFs or tokenized treasuries. It's going to be self-custody, and not just for ideological reasons, but for survival, privacy, and control. If you're new to this space, let's break it down. Self-custody means you hold your own crypto. You don't keep it on an exchange. You don't trust a bank or a fund to manage it for you. You control your private keys, which means you control your assets fully. And here's why that matters now more than ever. When you buy into a Bitcoin ETF, you're not buying Bitcoin. You're buying a piece of paper that tracks the price. That ETF is managed by a custodian, often a traditional financial institution like BlackRock. They hold the Bitcoin. You hold nothing. If something happens to the ETF, whether it be regulatory issues, technical failures, fund mismanagement, you're stuck. You don't have access to the Bitcoin itself. You can't move it, spend it, or use it on chain. You've given up the very power that makes crypto revolutionary in the first place. The same goes for centralized exchanges. They may be convenient, but if they go down, get hacked, or freeze withdrawals, your funds are at risk. We've already seen this over and over again. FTX, Celsius, Voyager, Quadriga CX, Mt. Gox. These weren't small scams. They were massive platforms with millions of users. And when they failed, the people who lost the most were the ones who didn't self-custody. Even during the 2021 bull market, when everything was supposedly safe and regulated, people were still losing access to their funds because they relied on third parties. If I could give one message to every person who's still holding the crypto on an exchange or planning to buy through a fund, it's this. Please learn how to self-custody your assets and do it now while things are calm. It's not as complicated as you might think. You can start with a simple hardware wallet like a Trezor or Bitbox. You'll write down your seed phrase and store it offline in a secure place. That seed phrase is your backup. It lets you recover your funds if you ever lose your device. Now, if you're not ready for a hardware wallet yet, you can start with a software wallet. Now, these are free, like MetaMask, Rabby, or Sparrow for Bitcoin. These give you direct control of your private keys. And once you're comfortable there, you can graduate to cold storage. But please don't hold large amounts on those type of wallets. But here's what that unlocks. You can move your crypto at any time without permission. You can use DeFi protocols, pay for goods or services, and interact with dApps. You can take your wealth across borders instantly, and most importantly, you eliminate counterparty risk. That's the core of it. No more trusted intermediaries. No more waiting for someone else to approve your withdrawal. It's also about privacy. When you self-custody, you're no longer linking your identity to a custodial platform. You can't interact with the crypto economy pseudo-anonymously, just like it was designed. And if you want to reveal your identity and your activity, you have the choice to do that. Now, that's increasingly important as governments and corporations push for surveillance-based financial systems. Now, I know the pushback. Some people say, I don't trust myself to hold my keys, or what if I lose the wallet? And yes, that is a valid concern, and it is a risk. But here's the truth. Custody is a skill. You learn it, just like you learned how to use a smartphone or manage a bank account or send an email. Now think about how easily and second nature those things are to you now. And the earlier you start learning it, the more confident you'll become. It's also okay to take baby steps. Start with a small amount. Get used to managing it. Practice restoring a wallet from a backup. Experiment with test nets or tokens you're not afraid to lose. That's how you build muscle memory and confidence. And one more thing. Don't assume self-custody is just for advanced users or crypto purists. It's for anyone who wants real ownership. If you're investing in this space because you believe in financial sovereignty, privacy, and freedom, then self-custody isn't optional. It's the foundation. Because as we move into this next cycle, the risks of not self-custodying are only going to grow. Centralized exchanges will become more regulated. ETF providers will become gatekeepers. Governments will push harder for control. And the more successful crypto becomes, the more pressure there will be to return it to the hands of the institutions. But you don't have to go along with that. You can choose sovereignty. You can choose to opt out. You can choose to actually use the technology you're investing in. Let me know in the comments. Have you started using a hardware wallet yet? What's held you back? Or if you've already made the switch, what helped you finally take the leap? And if you want to learn how to self-custody safely, check out learningcrypto.com. We'll walk you through the basics and show you how to build confidence with every move. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.